Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Waldhart and you are here with Amanda's InspirationStation.com. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a Poinsettia Petals class this month for December, and I decided I was going to do something a little bit different with this class. I still created a full tutorial for those who took the class, and they have all their pieces and all their goodies, but I thought I would also do a video on the projects for this class, and then I would post it live. Or post it, it wouldn't be live, so I would post it. So I'm going to show you the project that we are going to do that was part of my Poinsettia Petals class. We had 4 cards. One was this card. Well, first of all, before I even show you all these cards, let me just say something. This has now become my new favorite color combo. I cannot get enough right now of this color combo. Just Jade, Old Olive, and Real Red. I absolutely love them together. We are going to be using them a lot. So right here, we have 4 cards that we made in this Poinsettia Petals class. So we have the May the Magic and Wonder bloom this holiday season. Merry Christmas. And then thank you for making this a wonderful season. So this class included 4 cards. It also included a half a pack of the Poinsettia Petals, actually it was called Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. You got a free package of the beaded pearls, which these are the beaded pearls. I don't have very many left because I've been using them left and right, but everybody got a free pack of that. And then everybody also got a bolt of ribbon, which is the 3/8 inch sheer Real Red ribbon. Love this ribbon. I really love this ribbon. And as a little sneak thing, we have this ribbon in Gorgeous Grape coming to you in the new January through June mini catalog. So if you loved this sheer ribbon, you are going to love this because it's the same thing, just in a different color. Yay! I love it. It's so pretty. All right. And then some of them also did the bundle where they got the Poinsettia Petals stamp set and the dies. But I had other options, so if you already had that, you could still do the class. The other thing of this class that we did the 4 cards, but we also did this 12 by 12 framed art piece. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with you guys because we're going to make these 4 cards and we're going to make this framed art piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to start with, I have them in order here. We're going to start with this card first because I have them all, everything for the sake of the video. I have everything cut out already. Everything is embossed. The only thing that we're going to do today is stamp and put together, which is the same thing that they had to do. They had to cut out their own designer series paper, which I gave the measurements for what they needed to cut out. And then they had to cut out their poinsettia images from the poinsettia dies. But for the sake of the video, we have it all done. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to do this first card here, which says Warm Wishes from Our Home to Yours, which I just realized that I need to get these out and put them on. I'm batting 1,000 here. Let's see here. Warm Wishes right there. And we need that one. And I think that's all we need. Nope, we need this thank you one. Wasn't very prepared for that. I didn't put them on. So we are going to need our Old Olive ink pad, so I'm going to get that out, and I'm just going to quickly put these on some blocks. There we go. Easy peasy. I don't know about you, but I absolutely, when I first saw this stamp set, I was like, it's poinsettias, you know. But it became one of my favorite sets, so much so that clearly I did a class on it, a big class too. It wasn't just cards, it was cards and a framed art piece. But not only that, but it is being carried over. So that's exciting. So this is a great stamp set. So we're starting with our Whisper White card base, which measures at 5.5 by 8.5. And then we're just using a piece of Old Olive, which is 1 1/4 by 5. I'm sorry, this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then our Whisper White measures at 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this will measure at 3 by 4. So we are going to put this designer series paper right on the Whisper White here. And then we're going to pop this piece up. So we're just going to put some dimensionals here. All right. And there we go. Now we're going to use our mini glue dots. I was going to do this class tonight as a live, but then those who took the class, a couple of them are not on Facebook, so they wouldn't have been able to enjoy the video. So with that said, I decided then just at this point to do it as a video, and do it as just a regular video, and that way I could still send them the link and they could still enjoy it. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp my warm wishes right there. And looks like I'm going to need some more dimensionals here. Kind of batting 1,000 here. Also, my cat was in here, and can you hear him meowing? He kind of wants out now, so I might have to get up in a second and let him out. So we're just going to place that right there so it overlaps a little bit. And then I want to go ahead and I want to put a dimensional on the back of each one of these. I like to give both of these like some height. And then we're just going to put one up here like that. And we're going to tuck one down here like that. And then we're going to get out our pretty little, I love these pearls. They're so pretty. And we're going to use our mini glue dot. And we're going to put them in the center there. There is our first card. All right, so we have that card done. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on the second card. But before I work on the second card, I'm going to go let him out before he starts to cry. So give me just a second here. All right. I always have to shut and lock the door because otherwise my kids come barging in, and I didn't want that. So, and usually he stays in here, but he just didn't want to do that today, and that's totally fine. All right, so for this card, we are going to do white on white. I love white on white. This is actually my favorite card out of all 4 of them. My second one would be this one, but I absolutely love this card because I love this paper. This is part of the Poinsettia, I want to call it Place. I think it's Poinsettia Place, and I just love it. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the image, and we're going to do that in the Just Jade, and we're going to do that here down at the bottom. Now I'm doing the stamping first before I put my designer series paper on, just in case I mess up on the stamping, I can flip it over. So that's always good. You need 3 of these pieces, and they measure at 4 by 3 1/4. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to flip them over and put adhesive on the back. And I'm going to start right about there. And we're going to just leave a little bit of space between them like that. All right, perfect. Now, these two pieces here, this tree is from In the Pines, and then I went ahead and I embossed it with, and of course, I don't have my sheet with me, but I embossed it with, give me a second and I will tell you. Well, maybe I won't tell you because I don't know where it is. It's the one that's, let me just get out the catalog. I feel like I started this video and now I feel like I'm not very well prepared. So let me get out, there we go. Let me get out this catalog. So sorry you guys, but I want to make sure that I'm telling you the right stuff. All right, so the embossing folder that I used is the Wrapped in Texture embossing folder found on page 9. I'm going to leave that out. So I cut the tree out with the In the Pines dies, and then I ran it through the embossing folder. And we're just going to go ahead and pop that up like that. I love the white tree. And this little stitched scallop heart, it's so cute. That's in the Stitched Be Mine dies. And then I just literally put that right on the front. And now we're basically just putting tone on tone, white on white. So now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to place this on top here. I'm going to put one in the middle because I don't want to say center. And there's that. All right. And we'll just place that right there on the center. Voila. Very cute. I love these colors. This is so pretty to me. I absolutely love this. All right, so for the next one here, we are going to need some of this real red ribbon. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just cut a little piece of it. And then I'm going to get out my bow maker because we're going to need a bow. So I'm going to make a bow real quick. And for those of you, I did do a video recently on the bow maker because I had a couple of my ladies reach out to me and said, okay, I have a bow maker, but I forgot how to use it, which I totally get. So you're just going to place your ribbon around the back and you're going to come up the front like this and you're going to cross. Now, whatever piece is on the top, that piece is now going to go underneath and between the two little wood pipes or I don't know what you want to call these, pegs. Now that we have one on the back, one on the front, now you're just going to bring this piece back over to the front, but through the pegs again. So it goes under the pegs and now it's going over the pegs. And now you're just going to cross it, cross the bow. All right, so we're going to trim that off like that. And now we have our bow and our piece like that. So we're done with that part. So let's put this out here. So we have our card base again, and this I'm using Whisper White Thick. Now our second layer is a 4 by 5 in a 1/4, and that is in the Old Olive. And we're just going to lay that flat. Now, before we put this piece down, which this piece measures at, and I believe it is 3 3/4 by 5 1/8, we are now going to wrap this around, because we want to wrap that around and hide that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to place that like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, which I'm just going to turn it because it's easier for me to do that. Oops. There we go. There. And then I'm just going to put a little in the middle here. And I'm going to place that then over top here. Like that. All right. Now I am going to take my, I don't like it when the ribbon is loose like this. Don't ask me why, I just don't. So I'm going to put a little glue dot over here. Now you can see that, but we're gonna cover it up with this ribbon. So now it's adhered down, and now I'm gonna take the ribbon and I'm gonna use another glue dot to put the ribbon on top here. There we go. And now we're going to use some dimensionals again for this. And I'm going to use mini dimensionals this time for these little like scallopy berries. So we're gonna get those. All right. They're so tiny. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to angle that up. I'm going to angle this one down, but I'm going to put them corner to corner, and then I'm going to put one of the berries on there and one of the berries over here. And there's that. And now I am going to stamp. I probably should have stamped first before I put that card together, but I kind of forgot about the stamping part. That's all right. I think that we've all done that before, right? So we're going to go ahead and let me make sure this is all inked up. Looks inked up. We're going to do this in real red and pray that it turns out. Yay! And it did. So, all right. Which with this one, I wouldn't have been able to flip it anyway, because if I would have flipped it, it would have been a different pattern paper. So, cute. Merry Christmas. Okay. So let's move on to the last card. And again, we are doing the white on white. And we're doing, can you tell I loved this side of the paper? Loved it. All right, so now we're going to take this piece, which this piece measures at 2 by 5. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna center that on our Whisper White piece that actually, this one's not long enough. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't cut everybody's like that. So that's fine. Mine's not long enough. We're just going to kind of then center it so that it's center. We'll give it that a different look. Now, I've already cut out 2 of these like little, I don't even know what they are, like little berry sprig things. Actually, no, I didn't cut this paper for everybody. They were to cut that. So hopefully my measurements were right on the tutorial. Because it should have been a 2 by 5. I'll have to look that up. So this piece and this piece both come from the Stitched So Sweetly dies, which love, one of my favorites. And I'm going to place that like that. Now, before I even do this one, I'm going to stamp first. So I'm going to get out my Just Jade again. And I'm going to get out this stamp saying that says, "Thank you for making this a wonderful season." And we're just going to stamp. Perfect. I like it when it comes out perfect. And trust me, it does not always come out perfect for me. I'm just like you guys. We all have issues sometimes. All right, so now we're going to pop this up on top of that because I like to give it that height. Now, I'm going to use a glue dot for these, and I'm literally just going to tuck them under. So that one's wanting to stick to my finger pretty bad. So I'm going to kind of tuck it in like that, and then I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of a, like a press down, because I want to make sure that it sticks. And then we're going to do the same thing on this corner here. Okay, and now we're just going to pop this on top of this with some more dimensionals. All right. I'm having some issues here with this breaking. I hate that when that happens. Every once in a while, I get a pack that does that. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to center that on. And there you go. So there you have it. We did four of our cards. Now I will have this tutorial. This tutorial is on my blog, and you can purchase the tutorial, which has all the measurements and stuff on it. But so we made 4 cards with this class, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the framed art piece. Now with this framed art piece, I'm going to show it to you one more time. So here is our framed art piece. What I do is a lot of times, I used to, a long time ago, use 12 by 12 cardstock, Whisper White cardstock, or whatever cardstock I was going to do. But I will be very honest, now I save the backs of these. This came with the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper, so I saved these. And these are what I use for my framed art pieces. That way we're reusing, and it's wonderful, and I love it. So before we even put the squares onto the 12 by 12 piece, I'm going to kind of lift this up, and hopefully you guys can still see what I'm doing if I'm, yep, okay. If not, I'll kind of, right now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to make our squares first, because that makes sense to me. Everybody does things differently, but what I'm going to do is there are 9 of these squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out all 9 of these squares. And then what I will do is I will stack all the items that we need for each square. And then I'll go from there. So we have the center one here. So there's the center one. And I have an extra piece of this, which is totally fine, but that might be for that. Might have this on the wrong side. Here we go. So we have these 2 here are green, this old olive. Then we have these 2 here, which are the same squares. So we'll do those the same. Then we have these 2, which are the same, except for the hollies are going opposite direction. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then we have the backgrounds of these 2. All right, so pretty simple with that. So now let's start with the center. So with the center, we have this piece right here. And it looks like we have some more of these little sprigs. Now these are in the soft suede. So we'll do that, okay. Then let's go ahead and do the ones that are the poinsettias, just because, so we have a big one, a medium one, and a small one. And then we have big, medium, small, right? Okay, now we got our little leaves. So let's get our leaves out, because those are for a bunch of different ones. So we have a big and a small one for here. We have a big and a small one for here. Okay, and let's do that, and let's put those together. Okay, so then we have our jewels, which we're not going to do the jewels just yet. So then it looks like we have this one right here. So has the background of the old olives. So we have a bow, like a present looking one here, and then the tree. So we'll do the tree here with the heart that kind of goes with the, just like the card. And then with this one, we have our little pieces for our present, our bow, which we used the gift wrapped bundle that comes with this punch. I really like this punch. You can use it for so many things, not just Christmas, and it is leaving. So it is part of our year-end sale. So I would definitely, it's while supplies last. If you like it, it is something that is so versatile, and you can use it on pretty much anything. I would definitely get it if it's on your wish list. And then we ran that bow through that same embossing folder that we did with the tree, the wrapped in texture embossing folder. There's the little center to the bow right there. All right, so now we have this square and this square. They're the same. They just have a little bit different, like the whisper white of the sentiment. But they both get one of these crumb cake pieces, and that's from the Stitch So Sweetly die. They both get 2 of these, the little berries. So we're going to put the little berries. And then one gets this one gets this one. And then these up here get this, and we know we need to do ribbon and bows. There's the little berries, and there's the little berries. I find this is easier before I put mine together if I do it like this. This is how I find it's easiest to do framed art. And I find it just easier because I know where everything is. It's all stacked and it's right in an order. And then I can look at this, or if you're looking at it from the tutorial, the tutorial actually has a full picture, and then it has a picture of each individual square. So I just find that this is the easiest way for me. Once I have all my squares completely finished, that's when then I will transfer it over to my 12 by 12 backing. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start with the center square. And we need to stamp this image. So I'm going to get out my Just Jade. And I'm going to get this image again. And we're going to stamp the center. Like that. And close that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start putting this together. So I have my little square. Now the designer series is flat on the cardstock, the old olive cardstock. This old olive cardstock, all of it is a 3 by 3, and the designer series paper is a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. All right. Now I'm going to pop this up. So I'm going to just put 3 dimensionals on the back there. And I really should be careful of how close I'm putting this to the edge, because as you can see, some of the edge is hanging off here. So I don't want my dimensionals too close, and I didn't really pay attention to that. All right, so now we want to center this on there like that. Good. And now we want to put our little soft suede, little spriggy things, and hope this doesn't stick to my finger. There we go. And we're going to want to put that like that. And we're going to place the second one like that. There we go. So now we have one of our pieces done. Now that this square is done, I'm going to set it off to the side. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just keep working on our squares. So I'm going to put our designer series paper on top, flat. Put these on top, which are just our little strips to make it look like a present. Like that. Now, I do want to put a dimensional on my little center of my bow, so I'm going to use a mini. If you do not have any minis, you can always cut up your regular dimensionals to fit a small piece. And then I'm going to pop this up too. So I'm going to get my bow like that. And we're going to just center that right like that. Okay, 2 squares down. This is fun. Again, I would love to know what your guys' favorite sweet was, or still is, clearly, out of the August or December holiday catalog. Oh no, I gotta take these off. I was talking and I put them on the wrong side. Okay. Oof. I saved the tree. I don't like this side. So we want the pine cone side. There we go. But I would love to know what your favorite bundle was. What your first bundle was that you bought from that catalog. Because you just were like, I have to have that. We're going to put our little heart there. So there's another square done. All right, let's go to these squares here because we're going to do some stamping. And I'm going to get out both these because we're going to use Just Jade for both of them. So for this one, we're going to do the Happy Holidays. And then this one's going to be the Warm Wishes. So let's get back out our Warm Wishes that we used. And we used that in the old olive. So I am going to make sure that it's clean. And okay, because we're going to use it in Just Jade. I'm going to center that like that. And then we have the Happy Holidays. Every time I say that, I want to start saying Happy Holidays. Happy Holidays. All right. Did I get you guys singing that too? All right. So let's do that. Let's set those aside and we'll put on our designer series paper first. Let's see here. Can you even believe that Christmas is next week already? I just, you know, this whole COVID thing is crazy, but I honestly feel like this year has gone by so fast. And I don't know, like, for having to stay home, I mean, my husband works from home. I work from home now. Well, I always worked from home. My husband now works from home because of COVID. My kids are at home because they do schooling from home. And here, you'd think with all four of us in the same house, basically 24/7, unless we have to go to the grocery store or we have to, you know, run an errand or something that we can do. I don't know. I just still can't believe how crazy time has gone by. I feel like it's gone by very fast. All right, so now we're going to put our sentiments. But I will tell you, I am, you know, so ready for 2020 to be over. I feel like 2021, you know, is the light at the end of the tunnel. And it may not be like, you know, January 1st, but I do feel like it is the light at the end of the tunnel. And I do feel things are going to start turning around for us. It's going to be a slow process, but I hope so. Man, these little glue dots are very sticky. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's good, but like, they're like coming off here and then they're not sticking the paper, they're sticking to my fingers. All right. And then we're going to place one underneath here. I like to tuck it in there. Okay, so there's a square. Now we just have to do the same thing with these ones. All right. I usually listen to Christmas music nonstop at this time of year when I'm stamping, but for those of you who don't know this about me, I am a huge Taylor Swift fan. I love that girl. She can write her own stuff, produce her own stuff, play her own stuff, and I love her style of music. May not be everyone's style, and that's okay, but that girl's got talent, that is for sure. And she, about a month ago, released a folklore album, which I really, really like because I love just listening to singing. You know, yes, I like to listen to more peppier stuff that you can dance to and stuff like that too, but sometimes I just like to listen to singing, you know? And so she released that, and then she surprised us all a month later with a sister album to it. So I have been constantly listening to 2 Taylor Swift new albums, and I just love them. The more I listen to them, the more I just love them. The poetry part of it is just phenomenal, and I am just having a very good time listening to that. So I really haven't been listening to very much Christmas music this year. That's okay though. All right, so we're just wrapping some real red ribbon around this square. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place the square right on top of the cardstock. So we're going to do the same thing over here. We're just going to take our little ribbon and we're just going to wrap it around like this. And now we need a couple bows, but before I make the bows, I will just go ahead and place these on here because we're going to pop them up. So I need to get out my dimensionals again. All right. We took our kids to go see Taylor Swift. It was actually their first concert. I think it was 2018. We went to see the Reputation tour, and we saw it in Minneapolis. We had so much fun up there. It was so much fun. And okay, so wait, before I finish telling you the story, I want to make sure you guys know. So we're going to make this one like this, but now this one down here, notice that the leaves are going to go a little bit different direction. So we're not putting the leaves up on the same here. We're doing it this way. And we're doing it this way because we want them to come inward to our framed art piece. All right. Okay. So yeah, we took the kids to see it up in Minneapolis, and wow, that stadium where the Vikings play, what a beautiful, beautiful stadium. And that's where it was, and what a great concert. I mean, it was a great concert. Even my husband, who, you know, I think he tolerates Taylor because he knows I love her. Even he said, yep, she puts on a good show. And this year my girls are like, I wish Taylor was doing another concert. We want to go see her again. I'm like, me too. All right. Her and Adele, but good luck getting Adele tickets. That never happens. All right. That is very hard. I remember one time I tried to get Adele tickets. I had 3 computers in front of me. I had 2 laptops and my computer in front of me, and I was trying to get tickets. And then my husband was at work, and he was trying to get tickets on 2 computers. We did not get Adele tickets. She is just... Well, before she didn't do that many tours or that many places in the U.S. anyway. She only did like 6 different cities. So now that she lives here in the U.S., maybe she'll do more with her next album. But all right, so we're making some bows. Got those. So now we want to put our bows down with our glue dots. Okay, and we're going to do another one. And then we have only 2 more squares left. Can you believe it? Now, I am going to trim these a little bit shorter just because it's kind of cutting off the berry. So I'm just going to do that. And then, plus I'm okay with it hanging off. I just don't want it to hang off that much. So there's that. All right. Last 2. This is going by rather quickly. All right, so let's put our designer series paper onto our cardstock. And we'll go like that. And we'll go like that. And now let's put together our little poinsettias. So I always start with the small one, and I put a glue dot, and then I offset it onto the medium one. Then I take the medium one with a glue dot on the back of it. Sometimes I do 2 glue dots. These ones are pretty strong. And then I offset it again onto the large one. Now on this one, I'm going to use a dimensional on the back of it. And I'm going to place that like that. And I'm going to do dimensionals on the back of the leaves. So we have like that and that. And I'm going to place one up here, one down here. And then I'm going to put on these lovely little pearls again. And I'm going to use a glue dot and I'm going to put them on the center. Voila. And I'm going to repeat the process. So we're going to take the smallest poinsettia and we're going to off center it onto the medium one. Then we're going to off center it onto the large one. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. Now this time, so with this one, we're going to doing the same thing that we did the last time with the leaves. So give me a second here. So with this one, we did the leaves going this direction. Now I want the leaves to go the opposite direction. So now I want my poinsettia here, still in the middle, but I want the leaves to be on the outer edge. So basically on all of them, I'm having the leaves on the outer edge. So we'll do one there, one there, and then we just need another one of these pearls. And like that, okay? All right, so now we're going to start putting it together. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna have to hold this up here because, and look at it, and so you guys won't be able to see it anymore, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. Now, I did put all of these with, pop them up with dimensionals. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna flip them all over and I'm gonna start putting dimensionals on the back of them because I did pop them up. So this is going to take a minute or two, and I am so sorry. I wish I knew how to fast forward my video where it's like faster, but I don't think I know how to do that. So we'll just kind of do it real quickly, and I'll try to do it really fast. All right. How many of you love doing framed art pieces? I love doing framed art pieces. I'd be curious to know what you do with your framed art pieces after you make them. I know, like I hang up some of mine, but then, you know, sometimes then they get older and I don't want them and I have new ones. But when I'm done and I no longer like put them in a frame, but obviously I don't want to get rid of them. They're beautiful. So what I do is I make them into a scrapbook layout. So I will put like, if this would be one side of my layout, and then the other side I would have spots to put my pictures. And I turn them into like my scrapbook pages. So that's what I do with mine. All right, so I'm going to stick this here. I know some people like to, right now I'm not putting them down permanently. Right now I'm just gonna kind of place them where I think that they are going to be the best. Oh, you guys see, I did this one the same and I meant to flip it backwards. Oh, no, I didn't. There we go. I just had it upside down. I was like, I didn't think I did that, but maybe I did. Nope, I didn't. All right. I know some people leave them in their frames and they have like a whole wall in their craft room of just all of their framed art pieces. I always think that's pretty cool too. But what's going to happen when you run out of wall space? Guess you'll just have to ask your husband to build a new craft room, right? That's what I'd say to my husband. Can you just build me a new craft room? All right, so I look like I have a little bit more extra space on here, and I'm generally not, yep, so that's about 1 inch. This is not a full inch, so I'm gonna move it over just a little bit. I generally just eyeball this. I do not sit and measure this stuff. I do know that I need a section around, there we go, because that's where the frame will come. But I do not sit there and measure these. Now, if you want to measure them to make sure that they are all perfect, go ahead. You go right ahead. All right, so now that I have them kind of where I want them, I'm going to do one at a time. And I'm just going to kind of place one at a time. And like that. I liked this framed art. Again, it's these colors. Of course, the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper was like probably my favorite Designer Series paper out of that catalog. That and the Heartwarming Hugs. Those two were my favorite. I know everyone loved the plaid one, and I did love the plaid one too. Don't get me wrong. I ordered quite a few packs of those. But I just found myself, once I got creating and once I started doing things, I just found myself using this Designer Series paper and the Heartwarming Hugs the most. So I definitely would say those are my favorite. And Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper, that one's got more of like, it's got real red in it. The patterns they have like some gingham in there, and I'm a sucker for gingham. I love gingham. Very traditional colors for the holidays, for Christmas. All right. Okay, you guys, look at that. Woohoo! We have 2 of them. That was so much fun. I absolutely loved this class. It was a fun class to design. It was a fun class to create. And here are the cards again and the projects. I hope you guys enjoyed me sharing this video with everyone, not just with those who actually took the class. And by all means, I hope I inspired you to create these same projects. I do have the tutorial. I will have the tutorial up on my blog that you can purchase. Otherwise, like I said, feel free to case it. Do whatever you want. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you are watching this on my YouTube channel and you are not a YouTube subscriber of mine, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And if you're watching this on my blog, or YouTube or anywhere, I would also love for you to subscribe to my blog. I do post daily. Every day I post something, whether it's storage, a project, something I'm working on, something that's stamping up news. I post my classes and my events, any of my specials, and it's completely free to sign up. All you need to do is put your email in there. And that's it. And that's all you have to do. So you guys have a great holiday. I know that Christmas is next week. And again, I think that's crazy. So I hope all of you have a wonderful, blessing holiday and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.